And we are back. Thank you for staying with us. We continue with where we left off from, still with Gilad in studio. And right now we want to take off a bit of the other hats that we have talked about and focus on farming. Yeye ni mkulima. Na utatuambia kama unaendanga kwa shamba unapanda ama you are a visual farmer.
I love
or a practical farmer.
Really, there's this energy.
You engage with the land when you're in your farm?
There's an energy that you get from working with soil.
Yes.
It's there. I mean, if you ever try it by yourself, whenever you're feeling stressed, this is truth, okay? Whenever you're feeling stressed, life is too much, you know, we always get that, yeah? Go out to some fresh soil, put your hand down on the soil and just breathe and connect. And it's real, okay? It really is, it works, yeah?
It's not the garlic?
It centers you. No, without garlic, just the soil. And especially here in Kenya, I mean, whether it's black cotton, whether it's red soil, we have, you know, I mean, Kenya is, do you know in Hebrew what Kenya means? In Hebrew, the Israeli language of the Bible.
What does it mean?
Kenya means, Ken means nest, and Yah is how we say the name of God. So Kenya means nest of God.
The nest of God.
Yeah?
Oh, wow.
And it's real. I mean, we have all this land and we have all this water. And I mean, you literally stick a rock in the soil in Kenya and it will grow green, you know?
Yes.
So the cliche of being the food basket of the world, it's a cliche and there's a lot to be done to make, you know, we always say there's a lot of potential here. You got to work to make that potential real. But when you do work, the results are there. It's very possible.
All right, and speaking of working, now comes in the garlic farming. You know, you were telling us a bit about what it took for you to be able to get your small or large farm. You know, it's relative.
Yeah.
Relative kwako.
Mid-scale.
So mid-scale.
Yeah.
What did it take for you to set up in terms of the amount, the tract of land that you needed, in terms of human labor, in terms of acquiring the seedlings, all that to just help somebody who's watching us today understand what it takes to go into garlic farming, very briefly?
So we pushed really fast. I mean, we did it all in like a month and a half, from scratch, from virgin soil, fencing, a structure, you know, like a mabati kind of structure where you can work and store and live in and stuff like that. Water tank, water stand, plowing the soil with the tractor 3 times. We have drip irrigation, so laying down the drip irrigation. All of that initial setup was around like $1 million shilling investment. But it's not necessarily everybody. I mean, when you make a fence on your farm, you choose the wood, you choose which kind of
And this is a partnership or just you?
Yeah, my partner and I.
Okay.
Yeah? Actually 3 of us, but one of them is very quiet. So that was like the initial setup. And so, like I said, about $1 million shillings for 4 acres. So I mean, just $500,000 of that is drip. So if you do an acre of drip, you'll only spend like 160,000, something like that, depending who you buy from, but roughly. So that's like, you know, initial setup costs. Then once you get to the garlic itself, the seeds are everything, okay? And you learn by experience. You learn, you see what works. So now I've seen like 9 seasons of garlic, because at the farm, we grow all stages of the crop on like quarter, so that when farmers come, we can show them all the different stages of the crop in the training. And so in a season itself, once you've set up, and setup is something that you make up back over time. It's not like, let me just make that back. Even though we did actually make it back in the first season, yeah? But unexpectedly. So the seeds are super important. And what people are doing, unfortunately, is people are harvesting garlic, drying it, breaking it, and selling it, which is like the biggest mistake you can make. Don't plant that. Seeds are supposed to take 6 months between harvesting and planting. And you need to know the history of the seed. How many generations has it been replanted? So it's a professional process, yeah? So the seeds, yeah? And then garlic is a 4-month process, 4-month season.
From planting to
harvesting.
Yes.
So for a season, your investment on the operational cost, let's say, it's about 350,000 shillings for seeds and inputs, you know, fertilizers, pesticides, whatever you need for a season. Labor, it really depends on how fast you want to work. In the first seasons, we were like 40 women on the farm, planting, like an army of people.
Let's get it done.
You know, and we were like really good about giving mandazi and ugali, and you know, we were all like breakfast and lunch and taking care of everybody. And you learn over time. Today, we plant a half an acre with like six people. you know.
Down from 40.
Yeah, we learned, you know, we learned how to do it and so on, and over
Yes.
time. At the beginning setup, we had all these guys making the beds and all that. It depends how fast you want to go. Bring 4 people, it'll take you more time. Bring 30 people, it'll take you less time, you know.
Okay.
But I mean, in terms of results, at the end of the day, on the 4 acres, we harvested close to 20 tons in our first season, and we sold back then almost...
How much for a kg?
At that time, we were selling at almost 300, 350. Yeah.
Let's do
so yeah, it was a lot. You know?
50.
I mean, 20 tons times 300 is close to
7 Mike. Ni pesa mingi.
Yeah.
Iko na zero mingi.
So I mean, that was the first season, and then you know we kept adapting and changing and so on. But at the end of the day, for those who are watching and like interested in the math, you're expected, I expect you to grow. Our farmers, we have today over 50 farmers we're working with, and guys are doing between 4 to 5 tons per acre. People will promise you 6 and 7. It's just salesmanship. What we're the
Being
math,
practical.
The math is 100 kg of seeds planted will give you a ton roughly of produce.
Okay.
Okay. Plus a little bit, it can be a bit more.
Plus or minus.
We have a farmer who just did half an acre, did 2.2 tons. Okay. So, you know, that's a lot, right?
That's a lot.
Now, today market prices are between 150 and 200 shillings per kg. So if you're doing, you know, for a ton, let's say you're doing 200,000, okay? So if someone invested 350K, I said, in an acre, then you'll come out with about 700,000 in a good season, 600, 700, 750, in between. There's no, you know, people think everybody's doing like you. Everybody's doing the numbers, right?
Yeah.
This is not mathematics, okay? There's so many things to consider: weather, soil, water, seeds, fertilizers. And most of the mistakes actually made on the farm, they're human. Okay? Somebody scorched his seed because he put too much fertilizer of the wrong kind. People are not watering enough. So many different mistakes. At the end of the day, crop management is the main reason for failure, and bad seeds. Those are the main reasons for people failing, and just not doing the right practices on the farm. Garlic needs a lot of water. So I get a lot of farmers saying, I've got this idle, everybody's got idle land, right? And a shamba somewhere, right? Everybody's got has a shamba, and everybody wants to plant. Step 1, get a good water source, stable water source. Garlic requires about 70,000 liters of water per week per acre. So if you can think of a 10,000 liter tank, 1 a day for an acre, So if you don't have that water, don't even try. And it's too much of an investment to risk it on rain-fed, right? If you have a river nearby, you're fine, stuff like that's okay. But I mean, just to rely on the rain is too much of a risk, so I discourage people, you know, don't do that.
You need a reliable source of water.
Okay, as long as you have a good water source. But at the end of the day, garlic is a very strong crop, very resistant to disease. I mean, last season, we literally, God sent me every disease just so I could learn. And we still got an awesome harvest, which means it's a strong crop. All
right, now my director tells me we are out of time, but as we conclude this conversation, you know, and especially looking at garlic in the Kenyan space, I personally love garlic.
Me too.
It is a game changer for food, by the way. And ujaribu. Blend nyanya, kitunguu na garlic, alafu rushe kwa maji spaghetti.
And the smell, you know, I mean, like I have usually my hands will smell of garlic, and the car smells of garlic.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So, you know, for our viewers today, and also when it comes to just looking at garlic as a crop, as a source of business, and also learning to tell the difference between the good ones, the bad ones, the local and the imported. I know you have a thought or two there, but very briefly as we close, your closing general remarks.
So first of all, it's really easy. I mean, my dream is to push off the lower. We have imports which are lower quality than the local garlic we're growing. So the more Kenyan farmers are growing Kenyan-grown garlic, the more and you can see how much is there on the import side, so we can push that out. In terms of information, you know, let me plug, the name of our farm company is called Ole Raha. And it's on Instagram, search Ole Raha, and you know, phone numbers, contacts are there, and reach out to us and we'll guide you. I'm online with farmers and potential farmers a lot of the day, and you know, correct information is the very important place to start. So you know, find Ole Raha. I love the name Ole because we're in Maasai land. Raha is happiness, but also because the two partners' wives, his wife is Rahel, my wife is Hadass. So the first two initials,
And it made
That's where it came from.
Match made. All right.
Exactly.
Give us your social media handles once more so that if they have any more questions in regards to your music or farming, they can be able to reach
at
you.
Gilad Milo on Twitter, on Instagram, at Gilad Life on Facebook, and Oleraha on Instagram. You can find us there. Like that, and reach out to us, whether it's for music, whether it's for garlic.
Good stuff.
Karibuni nyote.
Aya, tumalize ukituimbia wimbo kamoja of your choice as we usher in the next break.
By the way, for those who want to hear me live, every Sunday I perform at Ashaki Dome. It's next to Windsor Hotel on the Northern Bypass. Good vibes, good energy, full live band every Sunday.
Give us a taste of what they can find when they get there.
Sema. No, we did that already. Sindio, Ama?
Iko sawa, tuchanganye tu.
When I see you, nitaona in your eyes. And I'll know when I hear your voice. Kwa kweli, this is my choice. I'll be there when you're dreaming. Nitalala by your side. And I'll know when I see your face. Kwa kweli.